Thank you very much for shouldering the responsibilities and beautiful presentations. I found that new generation is second generation is much better than the first generations. Their clinical acumen, Alok, Avinash, Jaya, Brigadier Baranwal, they all are doing fantastic job. And if you, it is my this last presentation is basically the sum up of all which you have already covered. As we all know that there is a tremendous development in the several in the last decade on the several techniques on ocular surface stem cell transplantations and handling the various diseases of pterygium and all other corneal pathologies are managed in such a beautiful way. And I'm proud of my colleagues Alok, Jaya, Dhar, and all Vijay. They are doing fantastic job of international standard in their procedure. Heartiest congratulations. Now, these are the things which is already covered, which is though it is newer one, that ex vivo expanded limbal autograft related various types it has been used, and they are not the future generations that is has come up, and we are still in the evolving it to use it. So this is a thing which we should keep in the mind. And cultivated allogenic limbal stem cell epithelial transplantation has so many newer techniques which has definitely improved the outcome in the severe Steven Johnson acid burn, alkali burn cases where the earlier treatment modalities were not very good. It is just to compact issues with the oral mucosal epithelial transplantations. I remember whenever you had a problem of conjunctiva, we were using the buccal mucosa for the oculoplasty purpose, and even the pterygium cases it has been used. So we should not forget that this is the we have the uh, cultivated oral mucosal epithelial transplantations, the comet, which can be used, which is though now almost 2 decades ago, used for the congenital aniridia, persistent epithelial defect, thermal chemical injuries, Steven Johnson syndromes, ocular secretory pemphigoid. And these are very simple surgical approach, autologous transplantation, non-aggressive, post-operative treatment required, and their cultivation is much easier than doing the cultivation of the limbal stem cells. So the comet is a procedure when you should always keep in the mind, and I would advise that it should also be practiced with the other cultivated limbal stem cells what we are using. The second is the minor salivary gland transplantation, MSGT. That is also a thing which is useful for the ophthalmic purpose, and indications are non-Sjögren syndrome, severe aqueous deficiencies. However, one should not use these in cases where the aqueous deficiency is dry eye secondary to Sjogren syndrome, active cicatrization conjunctivitis due to MMP are not the choice for these present kind of a transplantation, and complications like the conjunctival granulomatous changes, donor site mucosal granulomas may also be seen. So what challenges we are facing in the cases, the immunosuppression is the biggest challenge. How to handle the immunosuppression by to avoid allograft rejection, which is the leading cause of the LSCT failure. Adequate immunosuppressions to achieve good outcome simultaneously should not be lethal for the graft per se. And however, many ocular surface transplant surgeons fail to uh, adopt the immunosuppress their patients out of fear of the site of immunosuppression. So I would advise it is a era of violation. So it is no harm to take the help of immunologist. And as I was talking in off-level, I see that whenever you are using the immunosuppressive drugs or any other drug which is not used by the us in routine, better to consult the medicine people to use this, and we should use them with a full judiciously. Other challenges in the identification of stem cells both in vitro and in vivo, and for that was a problem 2 decades ago when we were doing the research in FMC on electron microscope, but now we have found that so many stem cell markers are available. So the future lies with the stem cell markers and uh, electron microscopy and confocal microscopy in the. So it is better that all big centers should be acquainted with these systems, and we should have interactions with our pathologist colleague about the markers used in uh, ophthalmic practice. The future ultimately the goal is to have a tissue that is non-allogenic. In addition, a source of not only limbal stem cell but also for the stem cell is needed to manage most severe dry eyes. A potential source of these cells could be induced iPSCs that are manipulated into corneal, limbal, and conjunctival cells. Human embryonic stem cells are undifferentiated derived, and yes, they are the blastocyst. This is also the another thing which will come in the future. Such treatments would allow patients and physicians to have an ethical concern when they are handling these cases. They eliminate the immunologic complications. Therefore, it is a promising source for stem cell therapy. So I am sure by next decade of 2030 will be very fascinating for all ophthalmologists, and cultured limbal stem cell transplantation will have future improvements such as selection of alternative carriers, gene therapies, use of an alternative source of stem cells. These improvements might expand the clinical use of stem cells in the future. And to add further, the preparation of ex vivo cornea, which is going on, probably will be again, you will have so many tissue engineering, which will make your job much simplified. Artificial intelligence and tissue engineering is the future of all medicine practice, whether it is a ophthalmology or any other discipline. Thank you very much.